Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. and Mrs. Voce were divorced 5 months ago when Mrs. Voce was pregnant with their now infant son, Joseph. Now, according to the terms of the divorce, no major medical decisions can be made without mutual consent. Unfortunately, we have hit an impasse.
Already? How old is the baby?
5 days.
What's the medical emergency?
Mr. Voce would like his son circumcised. Mrs. Voce is opposed.
You telling me you can't work this out between the two of you?
No, we can't.
Didn't you discuss this before the baby was born?
Well, from the ultrasound, the doctor said it looked like we were having a girl.
There's a bit of a time constraint, Your Honor. According to Mr. Voce's religion, the child must be circumcised on the 8th day after his birth.
He's not Jewish, Your Honor. He's Catholic. He converted.
That doesn't matter, Sandra. My faith is very important to me. And we agreed to give our child a Jewish upbringing.
Yeah, but we were talking about seders and bar mitzvahs, not mutilation. It's a very painful and unnecessary procedure. He's just a little baby.
Who has custody?
Oh, it's 50-50, Your Honor. But the Voces live next door to each other, so they can share responsibilities.
Okay.
Sandra and I had an amicable divorce. Until now.
We both feel that co-parenting is very important.
Yeah, I agree. Which is why I think the two of you should make this decision together. I want you to go home and try to work it out.
We're running out of time.
You think God is going to strike you dead over a piece of foreskin?
The bris milah is the most sacred ritual among my people.
Your people are Italian.
Okay, look, you still have 3 days. I think you owe it to yourselves and to your son to spend another 24 hours working on it. I want you to go home and talk about it, and I can see you again tomorrow afternoon. I know that's cutting it a little short, but... It's a bad choice of words.
Down the street.
Down the street?
Yeah.
Because I'm new in town. No, relax.
Get off!
I'm just talking.
Get off!
I'm not just...
Hey,
what's going on? Hey, get your hands off. You all right?
I think so. I don't know.
Are you hurt?
I think I'm okay. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's gonna kill me.
Okay. Oh god, you're bleeding.
Ma'am? No, it's you.
Oh my god. I think he shot me.
My son has been shot. His name is Vincent Gray. Tell me where he is.
Just a moment.
I want to know where he is now.
You'll have to wait just a second.
You must be insane. My son has been shot. I'm not going to wait. Now, where is he?
Ma'am, your son is with the doctor. I can't let you back there if you'll just have a seat.
That's funny.
Ma'am, you can't do that.
Sorry.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
Well, you've used up one of your lives, Mr. Gray. A fraction of an inch and we wouldn't be having this conversation.
I didn't even feel it. I feel it now.
Yeah, a rush of adrenaline, a release of endorphins. And you don't even notice the pain.
Vincent, thank God you're all right. Are you all right?
I'm fine. How did you find out?
I have friends at the police station. They called me.
I wish they hadn't done that.
Is he really okay?
He's a lucky man. Bullet grazed the inside of his chest wall.
Are you admitting him?
No, ma'am, he's not seriously injured.
Well, what about internal bleeding?
Mom.
No major organs were involved. A fraction of an inch in the bullet could have punctured a lung or put a hole in his heart. As it is, he'll be fine.
What happened?
I was at the grocery store in the parking lot. This woman was being attacked. I tried to stop it.
How the hell could a thing like that happen? In the middle of the day at a grocery store.
Mom.
The crime in this city is out of control. Didn't I just pay taxes so that they could put more police on the street?
Mom, calm down.
Did you talk to the police?
Yeah.
My God. This place is going to hell in a handbasket.
Can I get a tranquilizer of some sort?
Sure, if you think you need it.
It's not for me. For my mother. Hey. What are you doing here?
I just wanted to come and thank you.
You didn't need to do that.
You saved my life.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Except I can't get it to stop.
What?
Vincent? Vincent? It's me.
I was dreaming.
Yeah. So I gathered. I brought you some tea. You think you can drink it?
Yeah.
Mom called the courtroom. She left a message with my CSO. Vincent's shot. Everything's fine. No need to come home.
Oh, I wish she hadn't called. I'm fine. She, on the other hand, has a basket case.
Oh, can you blame her?
The only way I could get her to calm down was by promising to spend the night. I'm sure that was a mistake.
No, it's good. You have to let us take care of you. But first I have to get mad at you.
What?
Vincent, you don't walk into a situation like that. If you see there's trouble, you get help. You call the police.
There wasn't any time.
You came this close to getting killed.
But I didn't.
But you could have.
Amy, it happened. It's over.
God, Vincent, when I think about losing you...
You don't have to. I'm not gonna die, Amy. I can't get out of finishing my book that easily.
You're a really sick man. You know that?
Vincent, I can't believe this.
Are you okay?
Hey, guys. No, I'm fine. I'm alive and well.
This is why people have guns. If you had a gun on you, that son of a bitch would have never been
I'm
able
not gonna get a gun.
Peter, guns are not the answer, believe me.
Which market was it?
Corner of Center and Weaver.
Oh my God, I shop there all the time.
Vincent, do you happen to remember the name of the officer you spoke to?
No.
Was it plain clothes or uniform?
Mom, whatever you're thinking, stop.
I have connections. It can't hurt to grease the wheels a little.
Good idea.
Mom, I mean it.
Your brother needs to rest.
Think about that gun thing.
Why do I think getting shot was the easy part?
Hey.
Hi.
How's your brother?
He'll be fine. Thanks for asking. What's up first?
Sentencing hearing on the Robert Chetwynd case.
Today?
You set the date.
Well, that was before Vincent was shot.
We can put it off.
No, let's do it.
I'm late, I know. I had a personal emergency to deal with.
Is everything okay?
Fine, except I'm sure the colonel is going to have some words for me.
You're in luck. Susie's out sick.
Thank God. I mean that in the nicest possible way.
I should have figured you two weren't going to be best friends.
Yes, when you talked me into coming back here, you neglected to tell me that I'd be working with the female equivalent of Genghis Khan.
Oh, come on. You love being back here.
Yeah. I didn't need those extra years tacked onto my life. Aaron and Mimi Carter. 4-year-old son. The paternal grandmother says the mother's insane, emotionally abusing the child. Oh. So now the parents are required to please their mothers-in-law. Who can do that?
Maxine, are you sure you're okay? You seem kind of jumpy.
My son was shot.
Maxine.
Vincent. He was trying to stop a robbery. He's fine. He was very lucky.
Are you sure you want to be in here today?
Yes, because if I sit still, I'll start to think terrible things. Like how hard is it to hire a hitman, and do they take credit cards?
But Vincent's okay, right?
I think he's the least affected of all of us. He just wants to move on. Why does God allow children to be smarter than their parents? What kind of a trick is that?
rise for the Honorable Amy Madison Gray. Be seated.
Who are all these people?
Interested parties and spectators, mostly family members of the victim. The cops are heavily invested in your ruling.
We're here for the sentencing hearing in the case of Robert Chetwynd. Mr. Chetwynd was found guilty of manslaughter in the death of 10-year-old Jennifer Marquardt, which occurred during a gang-related drive-by shooting. I have the sentencing memoranda of both parties. The prosecutor is recommending state prison for 10 years, and the defense is recommending commitment to DCF for 4 years. Does either side wish to present evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Does the prosecutor intend to offer any victim impact statements?
Yes.
We reserve our right to be heard in argument, Your Honor.
Very well. Bring in the defendant.
Murderer! Murderer! And we are both. Everybody, stay in your seat. Back in your seat. Please, sit down. We're by
Can't just scare the potatoes. You gotta really smash them. Pulverize. Get out all the lumps.
Mommy used to pour them out of a box.
Don't tell me that. I don't want to know that about my sister.
Sit down, you. I don't need your help.
No one in this family can mash potatoes but me.
Vincent, I mean it.
Mom, I've been sitting around like an invalid all day. There's nothing wrong with me.
Does it hurt to get shot?
No, not really.
Your uncle was very lucky. The truth is, it hurts very much to get shot.
Mom.
You want her to grow up thinking that getting shot is like scraping your knee?
Mom, you're scaring her.
She should be scared of guns. And if you ask me, you're not scared enough.
Something smells good.
Uncle Vincent and I are smashing potatoes.
So you should be up.
Don't you start to.
How's court?
It's fine.
Anything interesting?
Nothing I can talk about.
Amy, we can't do this if you keep sticking your fingers in there.
Sorry.
I found out who's handling Vincent's case. Detective DeJean at the 4-2. He's a good man. I know him a little.
How'd you find that out?
I know people. I asked.
Mom, I don't want you doing that. I thought I told you.
You should call him, make sure he's following up.
Why don't I just let him do his job?
Because the police are snowed under with work. They let things like this slide. Tell him, Amy.
They let things like this slide.
Really? Cops mess up?
You're just going to let this lunatic roam the streets, looking for more victims?
No, after dinner, I'm going to slip into a phone booth and turn into a superhero. Then I'm going to go about restoring justice to the northeastern United States.
And parts of Canada.
No, I don't do Canada. Not enough crime.
Amy, I'd like a word with you. What the hell are you doing? This is not something to joke about.
People have different ways of dealing with things. I'm taking my lead from Vincent. If he wants to joke about it, I'm going to joke about it.
He's in denial.
It's part of the process. Let him stay there as long as he needs to.
You're a judge, and you're teaching your daughter that violence is not something to be taken seriously.
What do you want me to do, Ma? Take her aside and say, guess what, sweetie? This could all be over in the blink of an eye?
Honest to God, there are times when I feel I don't know you.
You just figuring that out?
I'm sorry that you had to come out here because of this. The fact of the matter is, my mother-in-law just doesn't like me. She never has. Isn't that right, Aaron?
My mother doesn't like anyone.
Do you know why she thinks you are emotionally abusing your son?
Because she doesn't approve of anything I do. She didn't want me to send him to a Montessori school. She thinks it'll make him a sissy. I'm raising him as a vegetarian. That bothers her, too.
And Terrence is how old?
He's 4.
And he's doing well in preschool?
His teacher says he's one of her brightest students.
And I assume you have no complaints about Mimi as a mother.
She's a great mother.
The problem is, I'm just a little more progressive thinking than most people. Certainly more so than Aaron's mother. She's very three-dimensional.
As opposed to?
Well, Aaron and I are fourths, and so is Terrence, naturally.
Fourths?
We're not restricted to the same time-space continuum as everyone else.
You aren't?
Honey, Miss Gray doesn't want to hear about that.
Why not? I'm not ashamed. I didn't do anything wrong. Aaron had a bad experience because he was abducted by a negative strain. But my encounter was with the positive strain.
Strain?
Of aliens.
I see.
It wasn't my choice. It happened right after Terrence was born, and nothing has been the same since.
How so?
Well, I am completely unstuck in time. I move in and out, which makes me very susceptible to alien contact. Would you like some more coffee?
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Your Honor, Robert Chetwynd sits before you convicted of manslaughter, and yet he killed no one. He didn't shoot Jennifer Marquardt. His biggest mistake was being in the wrong place at the wrong time. He did not know that these people, these gang members, were planning an assassination that day. And he certainly did not know that an innocent young child would die as a result.
Mr. Harbert, these arguments were rejected during the trial. He has been found guilty as a joint venturer in this killing. What I need to hear from you now is why Mr. Chetwynd should be sentenced as a juvenile rather than as an adult.
I'm getting to that. The most glaring fact, Mr. Chetwynd is a juvenile offender. He's 15 years old.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. You have to do better.
It's his first offense.
Yes, but it is for manslaughter.
Your Honor, the defendant didn't just fall in with the wrong crowd. He was a member of the gang.
No, not officially a member.
What does that mean? He hadn't earned all his badges?
He realizes he has done wrong. He feels remorse. He wishes he could take that moment back, but he can't. He's now throwing himself on the mercy of the court, and we beg you to consider leniency in this case. Mr. Chetwynd has spent his life in and out of foster homes. He has no family, no role models. In state training school, he has a chance to be rehabilitated. In prison, he will learn to become a hardened criminal.
He already is a
Mr.
criminal.
Marquardt, I can't begin to imagine your loss. However, if you can't control yourself, I'll have to remove you from this courtroom. Mr. Harbert, you requested funds for an independent psych evaluation. I seem to be missing the paperwork on that.
Yeah, my psychologist hasn't completed his investigation.
I thought you were prepared for this hearing.
To be candid, I expected him to be here today.
Did you summons him?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, we'll take a 30-minute break so that you can contact your prospective witness. In the meantime, I expect you to get your act together.
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll hear the victim impact statements after the break.
I should have ordered more of these. This is Jennifer's school picture. She was 10 years old when it was taken, 2 months before she died. Jennifer was a smart, happy girl. She played the piano, and she was gifted too. Her teacher told me that she had never seen any girl of Jennifer's age with that much natural talent. She was learning to play the violin. Her father and I had hopes that she would have a career as a musician. She wanted that too. She used to say, "Mommy, I just want to play music forever because it makes people happy." I almost told her not to go outside that day. I wanted her to help me cook dinner, but I thought, she's young, let her play. So I let her go. If I hadn't, my baby would still be alive.
I take it the two of you could not reach a decision.
No, we couldn't, Your Honor.
We talked about it.
We prayed about it.
He prayed about it.
Obviously, Your Honor, these two people simply cannot get past this, and given Mr. Voce's strong religious beliefs...
In all fairness, he's only had these strong beliefs for less than a year.
I don't see what that has to do with anything. Your Honor, the clock is ticking.
Mr. and Mrs. Voce, this is not the kind of decision you want a judge to make. It's very personal. It's up to the two of you as his parents to decide your son's medical care and the beliefs with which he is raised. I'm tempted to send you home again, but I understand the time pressure involved. Since, according to the terms of your divorce, you did agree to raise your child in the Jewish faith, I have to find for the respondent.
No! You're mutilating my son.
Mrs. Voce, it's a standard medical procedure. It's done all the time.
But I can't stand to see him go through that kind of trauma.
I understand the procedure is short and relatively painless.
Painless for you, maybe. It's barbaric. It's brutal. It's child abuse.
Mrs. Voce, I deal with people all the time whose children have been abused. Broken limbs, dislocated shoulders, cigarette burns. I deal with people whose children have been killed by stray bullets. I strongly advise you to put things into perspective here. Go home.
Court is adjourned.
Mr. Gray, I'm Detective Warren. You ready to go?
Go where?
I thought somebody called you. We have a suspect. They're putting together a lineup right now. We need you to come down to the station.
I don't know how reliable my identification is going to be. I mean, I just got a quick look at him.
Well, Miss Matthews is down there right now. If you both pick out the same guy, we'll have a very strong case.
Your Honor, at this time we called Jennifer's younger brother, Vaden.
How old is he?
He's 6.
Your Honor, really, do we have to hear this testimony?
This kind of violence affects a lot of lives. I don't think age is a factor. His loss is as profound as anyone's.
We've already heard from the child's piano teacher, her Girl Scout leader, and her aunts and uncles. I think the impact of Jennifer's death has been well established.
Well, in the case of a child this age, I would have preferred a letter. But I will allow it.
I hope you brought your sense of humor to work today.
No, I couldn't do this job without it.
Mr. and Mrs. Carter are a perfectly average couple raising what appears to be a healthy, bright child. The only problem here is that Mrs. Carter was recently abducted by aliens.
Aliens?
Fortunately, they were a positive strain. So it wasn't a bad experience. But now, their child has been selected to speak to the orb, which, as far as I can tell, is a large, glowing extraterrestrial egg somewhere in Arizona. What? You have a problem with that?
The scary thing is there's nothing we can do about this. There's no law against raising your child among aliens.
There's always something you can do. You just have to be creative.
I had a call from a Detective Dijon today. He's investigating your son's case, and he said that you were using your position here to speed the process along.
I take it he's not happy.
He wanted to speak to Susie. I ran interference. Maxine, sometimes you get a little too creative.
Any mother would have done the same thing.
The average mother does not have your connections.
Are you reprimanding me?
I'm just warning you. If Susie had found out about this, she would have airmailed your head to you.
I'm not afraid of her. And I don't apologize for trying to help my son.
No, ma'am. You are doing this for you, which is fine as long as you realize that vengeance is not going to fix it. You're still going to wake up at 3 in the morning and think about how you almost lost your son.
I don't know what to do.
Have a breakdown. You deserve it.
Jennifer was my big sister. She used to play with me. She took care of me sometimes, too. When my mom was late, she put me to bed. She helped me with my homework. I don't know who's gonna do that now. I miss my sister.
Let's take a 5-minute recess.
The court's in recess for 5 minutes.
I'm sick of it, Bruce. I'm tired of the excuses. He didn't have a family. He didn't have structure. He didn't have role models. Well, it's all about what he didn't have. Well, that little boy, he does not have his sister. And that woman does not have her daughter. You want to talk about loss?
You want to recuse yourself?
No, just because I'm in there wanting to rip the guy's head off doesn't mean I can't be impartial.
There's nothing wrong with taking yourself off this case.
Yeah, right. And the rap is that Judge Gray is too emotional for the job.
You can't worry about what people say.
Yes, I can. I have to.
Your brother was nearly killed. It's a valid excuse.
Oh, so now I'm in the league of people who make excuses for their behavior. Well, somebody has to be responsible. Besides, I'm not biased. I'm responding to evidence. That's what judges do. They listen to evidence and they respond.
You haven't heard from the defense yet. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just sounding off. I'll be okay. Just go back in there.
You're crying.
No, I'm not. Can you call a 20-minute recess?
Hey.
Hi.
Ready, Mr. Gray? This way, please.
Miss Baxter, you have concluded your victim impact statements,
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
and you have no other evidence to present at this time.
I believe Robert Chetwynd's crime speaks for itself. He behaved like an adult and he should be punished like one.
Mr. Harbert, tomorrow you will present witnesses.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any idea when I'm going to see that list?
We're working on it. There have been some scheduling problems.
Counsel, approach the bench. Mr. Harbert, what's really going on?
His mother's disowned him. His father's never been around. He's not exactly a star pupil. In addition, our expert witness seems to have been unexpectedly called out of town. I am trying, but it's not easy.
What made you think this would be easy?
I am trying to make my case on the fact that my client didn't really know what he was doing.
Well, it looks like your client isn't the only one, Mr. Harbert. Now, it is my intention to conclude this hearing tomorrow. And if you care about this kid, you better start defending him. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning.
Number 2. Number 3. Number 4.
I'm not sure.
It was broad daylight. You said you got a good look at him.
I never said it was a good look.
Mr. Gray, you and your friend were very fortunate. His former victim wasn't. Now, this has turned into a murder investigation. I really need you to concentrate as hard as you can.
You don't think I'm taking this seriously?
I didn't say that.
Guy was pointing a gun at me. I wasn't thinking about his facial features.
Just take your time.
Hey, what's going on? Number 3. I think that's him.
You think?
Yeah, that's him.
Good.
got 14 cases this morning. Break for lunch, then we hear from the defense in the Chetwynd case.
This lawyer managed to scare up some witnesses?
One.
Just one?
Robert Chetwynd.
He's speaking on his own behalf? Well, that's insane. A decent lawyer could have come up with somebody, anybody.
Happens all the time.
All rise for the Honorable Amy Madison Gray.
They're back.
Ever have one of those dreams that wouldn't end?
Yeah, I think I'm having it now.
Be seated.
Counsel, tell me we are not still arguing the circumcision issue.
No, Your Honor, it's a different issue.
What?
Mrs. Voci has stopped nursing her child. Mr. Voci feels that this will have a serious effect on his son's mental and physical well-being.
Mrs. Voci stopped breastfeeding because she was experiencing grave difficulties. Her nipples are cracked and bleeding, and she got an infection.
Well, that's really more than I want to know.
Mr. Voci does not have the right to force her to continue with this. It's a privacy issue.
According to the terms of their divorce, both parents must agree on any decision about the child's physical health.
Plenty of babies thrive on formula. I wasn't breastfed.
Well, you're not the issue here.
Whoa. I want to stop this in its tracks. I have spent more than enough time dealing with this penis petition. Could you excuse me for a moment?
All rise.
You all right?
Bruce, could you just make them go away?
Done.
I had a bad dream last night.
Really? What did you dream?
That Miss Shalewy was my mother.
Wow, that is scary.
And she was trying to shoot me.
Sweetie, nobody's going to shoot you. Least of all, Mrs. Schlewy.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Lauren, run and get your backpack. Carp will be here soon. I tried to warn you.
Well, this happened to her too, Ma. Can't protect her from that.
You need to talk to her.
Will you stop telling everybody what they need to do?
You're up early. Why aren't you resting?
I have to teach a writing class.
Can't you take some time off?
I feel fine. I just came by to give you some news that's going to make you happy. They caught the guy.
They did? When?
I ID'd him in a lineup yesterday. Cops seemed happy. They think the case is going to stick.
Hooray for our side.
You must be relieved. Aren't you?
Yeah, I'm relieved.
Chetwynd, you realize you were still under oath.
Mr. Chetwynd, tell us a little about what your early childhood was like.
I'm the youngest of 6 kids. My dad was never around. My mom couldn't deal with it, so that's why she sent us away.
Sent you where?
I lived in some foster homes.
The record says you've lived in 6 different homes altogether. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that.
The record reflects, Robert, that in 2 of those homes you endured physical and sexual abuse. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Tell the court what happened the night Jennifer Marquardt was killed.
I was just hanging out on the street, looking for something to do. Then these guys came around, asked if I wanted to go for a ride.
So, you got in the car.
Why did you get in the car?
I heard some talk on the street about payback. I saw Snoop's Glock. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to see what would go down. First, we just rode around for a while. Got some beer, listened to music. Then we pulled on the Market Street. There was these 2 guys standing on the corner. Someone said, "There he is." And then Snoop pulled out his gun, started shooting out the window. Happened so fast.
Did you ever see Jennifer Marquardt?
No.
Did you pull the trigger?
No, it was Snoop.
Are you sorry about what happened?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Chetwynd, you are basically speaking for yourself. You are the defense. So now is the time to tell me exactly how you feel about what happened.
Can I read something?
Yeah.
I am very sorry for what happened to Jennifer Marquardt. I did not know anyone would get shot. If I knew, I would have did something else that day. That little girl never hurt nobody. Now she is dead, and I feel bad. I wish everything was different, but it's not. Pay attention to what you're doing all the time, because people get killed before you know it, and you have to think about that forever. That's what I learned from this. That's all I got.
Vincent?
Yeah.
I thought I heard somebody down here. You scared me.
Machines in my apartment building don't work.
Somebody ought to take your landlord to court.
Yeah, that's the answer. Let's put everybody in jail. This thing doesn't work either. You ever think about updating your appliances? I tried that. It didn't work for me.
Sometimes it takes a special touch. Any idea when the trial will be?
What trial?
On your case.
It's not my case. Lisa Matthews' case. Just a witness.
A witness who was nearly killed. I'm sure they'll bring him up on attempted murder charges, too.
Great. That make everybody happy?
Vincent, what is wrong with you?
You won't let this drop. Nobody will let this thing just go away. I don't want it to become my identity, all right?
Nobody's saying
I
that.
want my life back. I want to be able to write again, sleep, talk on the phone, watch the news. I don't have any food in my apartment because I can't get myself to go to the grocery store.
Maybe you need to talk to someone.
I don't need to talk to anyone. I need this to stop. I had this moment where I wanted to let him go. I just wanted to say, it's all right, never mind.
You did the right thing.
I don't even know what that means.
Do you remember the other time you almost died?
At the beach.
You dug that sand tunnel and crawled down into it. It collapsed on you. You just disappeared. I stood there paralyzed. While the lifeguards dug you out, and I remember thinking, I don't know a damn thing about life. Not one thing. Maybe we're not supposed to make sense of all of it. Maybe we're just supposed to appreciate what we have. You go upstairs and relax. I'll finish this.
Mom, no.
I'd like to.
I'm 28 years old.
Vincent, I almost lost you, and I'd like to do your laundry.
All rise. Be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, the effects of violence are far-reaching. As we've seen in this courtroom, countless lives are affected. A child has been lost. That loss is grieved by her family, her friends, members of her community. A young man stands to have his life completely changed by my decision. I have to tell you from my gut that it sickens me that crimes like this occur. The children are lost, almost on a whim. That these atrocities occur in the town where I was born and raised. Mr. Chetwynd's defense left a great deal to be desired. When he spoke on his own behalf, I have to admit that I was expecting to hear something more substantial. Something that demonstrated true remorse. An indication that he fully understood and took responsibility for his actions. What I heard was not very sophisticated. Not very well thought out. What I heard were the words of someone whose emotional development has been greatly hindered by his circumstance. What I heard were the words of a child. No decision on my part could make up for the loss of Jennifer Marquardt. No sentence I could pass would justify it. My goal is to punish the crime while preserving some hope, if possible, that the juvenile can be rehabilitated and brought back as a productive member of society. Sending Mr. Chetwynd to adult prison decreases those odds. I hereby sentence Mr. Chetwynd to 4 years juvenile state training school.
How can you live with yourself?
Judge Gray, that boy killed my child. Have you no conscience? Have you no shame?
You cannot address the judge.
I just want her to look me in the eyes.
Please.
Just let her look me in the eye.
Court is adjourned.